James Franklin is not going to USC. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to The Reef with Jack the Reefer, and I got another banger video for you guys. But first off, like, comment, subscribe. Let's be special, baby. Let's be special. So James Franklin just signed a new 10-year deal with Penn State. Don't know what the exact amount right now. I imagine it makes him one of the higher paid coaches in college football just due to how much of a program Penn State is. But hopefully it's not too much, though, as Franklin hasn't gotten past Ohio State. Yes, I know he's beaten them, but he hasn't been able to get past them in the division to get into that Big Ten championship game and potentially get into the college football playoffs. I mean, since 2020, he's got a record of 11-9, which honestly not overly impressive for somebody you expect to be a top program in college football. He's got a bowl record of 3-3. So he's played in a lot of big bowl games, don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's not like he's winning all of them or losing all of them. It's 3-3. Now, he just had a hard time replacing Trace and Saquon Barkley. Yes, they had Miles Sanders there, and then they had Journey Brown. Unfortunately, Journey Brown had to retire due to medical issues. Unfortunately, terrible about that. But I've been told that he's got a certain aura about him when he walks in the room. He's just a powerful guy, and I think he's going to be able to get that Penn State program maybe rolling again. I'm not sure. Ohio State's got quite a juggernaut going on. Michigan's competitive every year. He's just in a tough division. Tough division. Point is, though, he's not going to USC, University of Southern California. There's some big-time job openings this year in college football. You got USC, LSU, VT, TCU, and Florida. Those are 5 major programs with history of success in college football, all looking for a new coach. And honestly, I would not be surprised if the Miami job opened up too. I know they like Diaz down there. I know they like him, but I think they're looking for somebody with a little more oomph and has been able to produce a little bit better. Because the ACC, it's open. You could be good in the ACC. It's not like you're going into that SEC brutality of you got Alabama, A&M, Georgia, and you're expected to do that. ACC, you got Clemson, and then everybody else up and down. Now, I see USC and possibly Miami as a very similar job. It's a big city, so you got a lot of kids to recruit from, but you also need to understand that with the current NIL rules and everything going on, I mean, you can't really control these kids. A really controlling coach, like a Harbaugh or a Sweeney or a Saban, is not going to work at a major city school like USC. They need more of a Jimmy Johnson NFL type coach. Somebody that's going to come in there, coach them up, but then once they leave the practice facility, you can go do whatever you want. Just stay out of trouble. And also somebody to help them build up their NIL brands. Look at Ohio State. Quinn Ewers got a $1.4 million deal, and that was just from one company at Ohio State. Yes, I know they're in Columbus, which is a major city in Ohio, but it's Columbus, Ohio. Think how big of a deal a top recruit, a top quarterback could get in Los Angeles or Miami. I mean, it could very well be close to $2 million. Now, a couple months ago, I would have said that Joe Brady was a great fit for the USC job, but just due to the Panthers' recent offensive struggles, I'm not really quite sure what's going on. They're not being able to get the ball to their playmakers' hands, specifically Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, let them make a play. So I'm not sure on Brady right now. But one other interesting NFL coach that they could ask around is Brian Flores, Miami Dolphins. Things have gotten a little bit choppy this year in Miami, and Tua and some of their draft picks haven't hit. So, Brian, you throw enough his way, he may be looking for a change of scenery. I don't know. That's just something I would do and ask around. Now, if we go to LSU and Florida, those are hard jobs. I'm sorry. I know people say those are very desirable jobs. They're not. The SEC is absolutely brutal. I mean, Florida and Alabama play each other just about every year, and LSU and Alabama play each other every year. They're in the same division. Once again, a hard game to win, and you're held up to that Alabama standard because both those schools, Florida and LSU, have both tasted national championship success, and they expect national championship caliber teams year in, year out. And I mean, Coach O won in 2019, and look at him already. 2 years later, see ya. Deuces. Now, obviously, there was some off-the-field stuff with Coach O that kind of led to it, but nonetheless, national championship winning coach out in 2 years. Now, I would say the Florida job is more desirable than the LSU job, just because Florida and you're a different division from Alabama, and also the cupboard's not bare in Florida. There's still a lot of talent, a lot of good players there, and there's pieces to build around. Now, you go to LSU, everybody's leaving, everybody's transferring to LSU. And also, all the guys that can leave and go pro at LSU early are leaving and going pro early. So there's just not as many pieces to work with at LSU, I would say. Now, I think in both situations, you still need to figure out the quarterback position, the most important position in football. But I think, you got AR at Florida, and LSU, I think they're still trying to play around with that quarterback position. Now, VT, very much small town vibe. Very interesting, similar situation to what I would compare to a Clemson or an Alabama major program like that, where it's a small college town, kind of honestly middle of nowhere in the state, and you got to become the mayor of that town. You got to find a big personality guy, somebody who's willing to come over and take the reins, because when you go to a small college town like that, the college football coach, they are the king of the castle. When football is going well, they take all the credit, they are the kings. And when football is going bad, you point at them and you blame them. The days are worse, everything, the grass is not as greener when football is going bad, and you point your finger at the head coach in a small town. That's just how it works. Now, I would look at Coastal Carolina's coach, Jamie Chadwell. Now, he's had 2 good years at Coastal Carolina. He's been there for a couple years, worked his way up to the head coach spot. And he's just kind of built a very unique culture. I mean, look at his post-game celebrations. Post-game, they have wrestling matches and pizza eating contests when they win. I mean, what other college football teams are doing that? Yeah, Clemson dances, Florida dances too when they win. And then Alabama, they go and smoke their cigars. But that's just kind of, it's a fun environment to be in for those kids. And that's a fun culture to build around, a cultural piece you can build around. And that's what you need in a town like VT. I mean, it's going to take a couple years to kind of rebuild the team, reset the roster, but you got a lot of good pieces there in the Virginia, New Jersey area in terms of kids you can recruit from. And it's a good job. I mean, look at Beamer obviously was a great coach there, and he got a high standard to live up to. But I think VT may honestly be one of the more desirable jobs. Less pressure, and really more of a chance for you to build your own culture, rather than if you go to USC, those kids are going to do whatever they want in LA. It's just how it is, and you're not going to be able to control them. Versus VT, you could very much impose your will, and you could run the town, run the program, very much more controlling, more Harbaugh-esque. I mean, we saw what Harbaugh did in the NFL. He just ended up getting too controlling, and the players didn't like that. But he works at Stanford, it's working at Michigan. I know he's not getting past Ohio State, but right now he's got a top 10 ranked football team, and pretty consistently he's got a ranked football team. That's all I got for today, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and as always, have a great day. Tell somebody you love them. Deuces.